You're looking for new construction, but you also want to live in Orange County. Now that's a little bit difficult, as we'll talk about soon, but here are all the major areas where you can find new construction homes in Orange County, California. Okay, so here we are in Orange County, and first we have to be clear that while there is some new construction available in Orange County, it is truly a drop in the bucket in terms of the overall market. The United States, I believe, is 30% of the U.S. real estate market is new construction. So that's considered, like the normal percentage.
As far as sales go.
Yeah, as far as sales go. So, but we in Orange County, we're only, I wouldn't even say it's 1%, would you?
It's pretty low.
It's very low. So, you just have to adjust maybe your expectations if you're wanting to move here and you want a new construction home. There's not that many areas where you can get it.
Yeah, because actually what we did, I did a search, and we'll get into it in a moment, but basically I did anything that was like coming soon, available for sale, in escrow, or sold in the last 6 months. That was a year 2025 plus build, right? Just to kind of give you a sense of what's out there. You will see that homes are sprinkled all throughout Orange County, but these are a lot of these are one-offs, right? Or very small developments, maybe like 10 unit, 10 house developments, or but as far as general pockets of new construction, that's what we're going to get into right now.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about the big ones, and we use the big ones, right? And then, like Sean said, we will show you later on just the sprinkling that you can get. A lot of them are in the beach cities because that means somebody bought a shack
and demoed it, built a McMansion.
Yes. Okay, so why don't we just start with the largest one? So if you are, you are new construction or bust. So this is the largest new area. We actually recently did a driving tour of Rancho Mission Viejo. We always like to kind of update the channel every year, what's going on in Rancho Mission Viejo, in terms of any new amenities that they have and that sort of stuff. So, Sean, do you want to talk about Rancho Mission Viejo, maybe the pros and cons?
Sure.
Obviously, before I let Sean talk, you can see an obvious con, and that is its
distance,
location.
Yeah.
Yes, its distance. Obviously the biggest job center is Irvine, and you're pretty far away. So
yeah, so that is definitely, because obviously it's where do you find wide swaths of land that are available to develop, right? And so given that Orange County has already been built out for a while now, it's kind of like you're going farther south, farther east is kind of like what's left to develop for the most part.
Yeah.
And not to say that they're all that way, but again, Rancho Mission Viejo is kind of like the last frontier for new construction. I honestly thought we were kind of at that last frontier with Ladera Ranch, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, Rancho Mission Viejo really, it was like, oh wow, they can do that, and it's going to go even further east, which is crazy to think. It's going to go further east effectively than San Clemente, or further south / east, I guess.
Yeah.
So you're kind of going, wow, this is weird, because I was San Clemente was like
the
farthest, and you're going, oh wow, I guess we can go further. So before we continue, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Sean Dazad.
And I'm Courtney Dazad.
And this is Strider Dazad.
Oh, he's so cute.
And we're licensed realtors here in the state of California. Not him, but us. And if you're watching this channel, you might be thinking, wow, Sean, I love Orange County. I love the blue skies. I love the beautiful weather. I can't wait to move it here. Now, the problem is I'm not local, and maybe out of state, and maybe out of the country, so I don't know what to do. I totally get that. That's when you reach out to us. We can be your boots on the ground. We can find that perfect home for you when we have our call. And we can start to do actual virtual tours of the homes as well as the neighborhoods that they're in. So when you do come out here, your time is spent super efficiently. So what you're going to do is you're going to give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country. Strider wants to hear from you. So here is San Clemente right here, and we always think, okay, this point right here is the farthest south, but you can see this is
even
slightly farther south. And the reason why that's weird to us is because this land right here, this is Camp Pendleton and San Onofre. So Camp Pendleton is a Marine base, and San Onofre is a decommissioned nuclear power plant. So you just have to know that this...
And they're both in San Diego County.
Yeah, so this open space right here, this is San Diego County. So that's one of the reasons that San Diego, so the county of San Diego, the first real city that anyone lives in is Oceanside. And then the city of San Diego is like farther down here.
Way down there.
Yeah, this is the county of San Diego. But San Diego really feels, I'm from San Diego, and it really feels like off on its own, right?
Like an island because of that swath right there, because it's not really directly connected with the rest of the LA general market.
Yeah, and this little swath right here, you'd think, oh, nobody lives here, so there's no traffic. Okay, that's totally not true at all. It's major traffic here. Because people love San Diego for like a destination, so a lot of people from LA will be like, let's go to San Diego for the weekend. And there's traffic all the time.
So, yeah. Weekend traffic going down to San Diego is horrific.
And on a Sunday night coming up this way, oh man, good luck with that.
That's why I like to go. So getting back to Rancho Mission Viejo. So it's new construction. They're on their third village right now. So there's 3 major developments that have taken place so far, right? Because they're actually going to have more villages or whatever you want to call these things. But basically, so there's Esencia, Sendero, as well as Rienda. And Rienda is, so Esencia and Sendero have already been built out. They've been built out. They've kind of started these back in 2012, give or take, and then have kind of been developing since then. Rienda is kind of more like 2022 is kind of when it started being developed. And it's being developed to this day. They're kind of have more and more of their amenities are being built out, which we kind of saw in more recent, actually driving tour.
Yeah, I'll link to it at the end. Sorry to interrupt you, Sean.
Sure.
But if you want to know what it looks like, we have a whole driving tour where we show you all the new amenities.
Yeah, and actually it's funny because I would actually say that Rancho Mission Viejo, again, for these 3 villages, they're not actually that far off the 5 freeway, because you take the 5 freeway to the Ortega Highway, right?
Yeah,
so the 74 is
Ortega Highway, yeah.
It's actually only a few minutes away, so it's actually not too bad. But again, as these villages continue to be built out, they're going to be further and further away, just being real about it. So they'll be less and less convenient to get to. But still, its general geographical location is inconvenient just because, again, like you mentioned, the major retail center and job centers really start at Irvine and kind of go north from there. And that's just kind of a ways away from Rancho Mission Viejo itself.
Oh, 1 second, real quick here with some pretty B-roll to grab your attention, but just a quick reminder that if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because we have lots of videos like it planned for the future. And don't forget to comment down below where you're thinking of moving to Orange County, California from. Sean has worked with clients from every continent except Antarctica, so let us know your story. We'd love to hear it. Talk soon, and now back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, and then another thing about Rancho Mission Viejo, at least at this time, is that there isn't much retail. There is a little bit. They are building more, as we speak. So there's basically like a grocery store and a little strip mall in this Sendero area. Gelson's, and then they're building another one.
They do have an In-N-Out, though.
That's true. So this little place right here is kind of like right next to San Juan Capistrano, because there's newer San Juan Capistrano homes here. Yeah, so there's a little bit of retail here, but the majority of your shopping and dining is going to probably be in Mission Viejo. So, that's just another thing to know.
It's right there. It's only a few minutes away. You see, it actually extends pretty far down. So it's not that far away. It just kind of when you look at Rancho Mission Viejo on its own, you're like, oh my gosh, it's so far away. But you're like, well, it's actually close to a lot of cities. It's not really that far out of the way, but again, if you're looking for the major retail and job centers, they really do start at Irvine, the Irvine spectrum.
Yeah, this is the beginning of the jobs, basically, is right here. And then as you move northward, then you have more job centers. So, yeah, and then if you've ever heard of Ladera Ranch, so Rancho Mission Viejo, they really are modeling themselves off of Ladera Ranch. It's just, Ladera Ranch is kind of known for, it's all its amenities.
Yeah, tons of amenities.
So many amenities, and then, it's got a strong community vibe. So they're really modeling off of Ladera Ranch. But again, it's the location. And then also, there's also, fees and stuff, right?
So Rancho Mission Viejo. So the pros are actually, so again, it's new construction, right? And they have a variety of different types of homes as far as new construction goes. So if you're looking for new construction, there you go. Price-wise is honestly not bad. Again, when you think about Orange County pricing, it's actually pretty reasonably priced. So from that perspective, again, good. Not to say they don't get more expensive, depending on the size of home and all that other stuff, but it's really not bad price-wise, right? So those are great attributes. The cons are really one, it's kind of a little bit further out of the way, like we kind of noted, but second is that you do have a lot of fees. So when you have, because it's new construction, so one, you have a community fee for Rancho Mission Viejo, and it's in the vicinity of $300 or so per month just to tap into any of the community amenities and all that other stuff. But on top of that, you also may have additional association dues if you're not getting a detached single family residence. Let's say you're getting a townhouse or a condominium, then you have those association dues tacked onto your general community fee. So all of a sudden that can just blow up to be $700 plus between the two, like, and plus as in, like well more than that. So there's that part of it. And then the second part is that there's additional property taxes. So because this is brand new construction, you do have what they call Mello-Roos. So with Mello-Roos, it's to help fund new roads, new infrastructure, new schools, new fire departments, like all that stuff. So that comes at a cost. And so when you're dealing with that kind of fee, over time, it's kind of just, you'll see, anything that's built beyond, like or newer, anything that's newer than the year 2000 build in all of Orange County has that potential of Mello-Roos. So it's not just exclusive to Rancho Mission Viejo. It's just that because it's the newest, you're seeing the most dramatic form of it, because the blended rate for this part of Rancho Mission Viejo, especially like Orinda, is that its blended rate is about 1.9% property taxes. So that's Mello-Roos as well as your general property tax rate. So that's almost a doubling. So your typical property tax rate is around 1.1%, right, of the purchase price. Whereas again, that Mello-Roos definitely is a big tack on, and it should last for about, I believe, around 40 years. It's like kind of like the time frame that they're going to have the Mello-Roos fee. Obviously, we'll get in the details if you ever decide that you want to go, like really invest here. But that's the general, again, viewpoint, like the overall view of this. And then just so you know, there's like other fees. The other major fee to kind of be aware of is there's like transfer fee in Rancho Mission Viejo where you're dealing with, it's about, actually for Rienda, it actually depends on which village you are, but for Rienda being the newest one, that transfer fee is about 1% of the purchase price, which is not nothing. So that's a pretty decent, size fee there. So you just want to be aware of it. And again, that's where you reach out to us, we can have that conversation. I can give you a sense of all the fees, like all those kind of costs, so you know what you're getting into at the end of the day.
Yeah, because even though there's a lot of fees, like for some people, they still think it's worth it, right? Because of the overall cost of the home. And
exactly.
Then they want new construction. So it really is just like, do you think it's worth it or not?
Exactly. Another major pocket of new construction is in Lake Forest. Portola Hills is another decent sized development right there. So that there's another pocket there. And so that, again, it's Baker Ranch is mostly built up, but I guess there is a little bit of development still happening in Baker Ranch, like right outside of it. And then also as far as the Great Park area in Irvine, so Portola Springs is happening as well in Irvine. So people can get Portola Hills and Portola Springs, they conflate the two, and they're really two different cities, two different developments altogether. What's nice about, especially like, the Great Park, and and even Portola Springs and Baker Ranch. Portola Hills is getting a little bit further out there, but these ones are actually a little bit more conveniently located, so you're closer to the major job and retail centers in Orange County.
Yeah, because you can see that Irvine is actually the center of Orange County.
Yeah, the geographic center.
It's the geographic center of Orange County, so anytime you have new construction near this geographic center, people are they're gonna really like it. Of course, it's more east, right? So it is obviously more east, which means that it's hotter, right? It's hotter in the summer, it's colder in the winter. I mean, I know I'm being a Southern California wuss here, but it does make a difference, like the weather here and then the weather here is
10 to 15 degrees difference, depending.
Yeah, 10 to 15 degrees difference, and that goes to also say that it's colder in the winter. Again, we're not saying it's cold, we're not saying it's hot.
Yeah, in absolute terms.
Yeah,
you have to understand, we grade this on a curve because
yeah.
Southern California, especially coastal Southern California, has such fantastic weather that you're going to notice these small degree changes. It's just being real, right? I mean, we're not saying that it's bad. It's just we want to make sure that you're aware of it, that it's going to be a bit warmer than, let's say, you're on the beach itself, which, again, there's just not much new construction on the beach.
Yeah, and then another thing we should also mention is that kind of these new construction pockets, including Rancho Mission Viejo. So Rancho Mission Viejo is kind of right here, and then obviously you've got the pockets in Lake Forest and Irvine. You'll notice that they are farther east, and they're abutting this green stuff, which is not green, it's brown. If you've ever seen our videos, you just have to know that this is undeveloped land, and we're not fire experts, so reach out to us if you want the Orange County Fire Authority's fire map. But, it's undeveloped land, so that means that it's increased fire risk.
Yes, exactly. These are golden hills. It's like a lot of brush. It can be green in the winter when it's had so few rains.
Month.
Yeah, there you go.
March.
You look so lush and green.
Yeah.
But then it turns brown. Yeah. But yes, so basically it's just that there's potential elevated fire danger, which one is obviously concerned if you're, it may be of a concern for you. And then second is that obviously you may have elevated insurance costs because there's elevated fire danger. So it's just something to be aware of. And, whether or not that's the right fit for you, that's something that only you can decide there.
Yeah, just to show you what it looks like. So on the map it's green, but this is what it looks like. Yeah.
And again, it's funny because for me, I'm like, I love it.
I love
it. It's great to run in, hike in, and all that stuff. But at the same time, some people being like, hey, it's not a forest, like in that normal sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is not new construction. I just always click on Trabuco Canyon to show you what it looks like. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess so we kind of brought up some parts of Irvine, some parts of Lake Forest, and obviously Rancho Mission Viejo. Those are I would say the most major pockets of new construction. Mm-hmm. And really, and far and away, it's Rancho Mission Viejo, and much less so now regarding Irvine and Lake Forest, because a lot of that's even starting to get built out. So having said that, we can actually show you, so to kind of really illustrate this, I did a search for homes that were, year 2025 build that, are in escrow, available for sale, or have sold in the last 6 months, just to give you a sense. And so this is for a population of 3 million people in Orange County, right? So there's 457 homes that came up. This doesn't include properties that expired and went back on. So I'm just kind of showing you just, again, very general viewpoint. You can see it's sprinkled throughout. So in a lot of these aren't big swaths that are being developed. These are like one-off type properties, right? Mm-hmm. That are, again.
A lot of them are at the beach, like I was saying.
And they don't come cheap, so.
Oh yeah, let's just for fun.
Okay. 9 foot. Yeah,
let's look at these. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so this is new construction.
And then you can tell the house right next door to it is older, for sure. So it's not like this is a new development, right? So.
Let's look at it. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. HGTV right there. So yeah, it's a sprinkling, right? So somebody bought a beach shack and
did something nice to it.
Yeah, look at that. Nice. I like.
Yeah, and for 8 figures, this can be yours. Or just under 8, I guess. Yeah. And actually, this is a condo. This isn't even its own freestanding home.
Oh, 17 mil. Yeah. This is in Newport Coast?
This is Cameo Shores, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So again, 8 figures, nice house.
Yeah, nice. Beautiful.
I mean, I guess I would live there. I mean, if you twisted my arm. But Cameo Shores is obviously, again, a very well-developed area that's, been there for decades. And people have done one-off new builds, and that's, so just be aware that there's a lot of that. So, and that's a sprinkling throughout all of Orange County. Yeah, so in Yorba Linda, so like, again, if you're noticing, again, anything that's along the coast like this, realistically is been a rebuild spec home, like, like custom home kind of thing. And then as you go further east, there have been some, like, new-ish developments in Yorba Linda, for instance. So this is this is Cielo Vista in Yorba Linda. So this is a new-ish community. You do have a little bit of this. It's just that, again, the major developments are happening in more, what we already brought up in Rancho Mission Viejo, Irvine, and Lake Forest. But you do have some, right? Again, that's where it's sprinkled all throughout. And again, if you really are dead set on wanting that brand new home, reach out to us and I can obviously, send you some properties.
And then if you are interested in new construction, obviously we would love it if you'd work with us. But even if you don't work with us, we highly recommend that you use an agent. And Sean, why is it, why do you recommend that somebody uses an agent when they work with new construction?
Yeah, the thing is that you want someone on your side. You want an advocate, like looking out for you, because if you're just going into that sales office, those builders, you're going to talk to that sales rep and they'll be happy to write up an offer for you. But they're being paid by the builder. They know where their bread's buttered, right? They're employed by that builder to get these sales happening. And they're not necessarily looking out for your best interest. Like, so if you're, obviously if I'm assisting you in trying to find a home, I'm, like looking through all the information that's being, documented there, all the disclosure recommending a home inspector to be going out to the property. I know people find that very counterintuitive because you're going, it's a new home, it's going to be perfect. You'd be surprised, actually. I would say that the perfect home is more about 2 years old rather than brand new because all the kinks have been worked out. And so you'd be surprised that, you know, even if it's new construction, people, you know, they go, wait, the plumbing's not working right. You know, people, either the builder was possibly a little sloppy or just, again, something was missed, right? And so that's where you want someone to kind of be looking out for you and making sure these milestones are met and that the builder is staying close to the timelines because, you know, sometimes builders, one, you may have certain upgrades that the builder kind of didn't notice, or there's a certain time frame that they were supposed to be done and they're not doing it. And you want to know that as soon as possible so you can make arrangements one way or the other. But you want an advocate looking out for you because that again, if you go straight to the builder, you know, that's not their role. And remember, we are licensed realtors here in the state of California. So as much as we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is when you give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country. See? Oh no, the puppy.
I love you too.
Okay.